What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Your boy Jermane'S Views, and listen. Today we have an exciting story for you guys. Well, some exciting stories for you guys. I just want to say I'm super proud of the United States team in the World Cup games, and they are doing some great job. They're making their way. They're doing a good job, and they won the group stages. They're the champion of the group stages. They won their Group D, and that's big things. Sweden um, get knocked up today, and I was hoping for Sweden to really win this game today, but they got beaten by the Netherlands today, 5 goals to 1. Netherlands is one of those teams that is so talented. One of those teams in the world that is so talented, but they have never lifted a World Cup trophy before. And you know, even though I like Sweden, I'm kind of rooting for the Netherlands too, because Netherlands has a lot of talent. And as I said, they have never lifted the World Cup trophy before, regardless of the talent they have over there in the Netherlands. So in today's show, we're going to touch on those topics, and you know, the World Cup games is going on here in the States, and it's exciting. A lot of people enjoying the games. A lot of people, you know, showing love and support and being supportive to their respective teams, and so on and so forth. And the games is just bringing people together. I would say on the grand scheme of things, the World Cup games is like a unifier. I would say, in some regards, it's very much a unifier. Um, Everyone is enjoying it. Uh, the people are having fun. Um, it's just a great thing for the country in these times to have the games hosted by the United States, and everyone is um, participating in the game. So let's pivot for a little bit. We all excited about the World Cup games and everything, but we are also equally or more excited about um, the peace deal that is going on, or excited to hear about what's going on with the deal. So let me see what here. I have something for you. I gotta read. So Iran, the Iranian National Guard said they have officially closed the Strait of Hormuz because the United States and Israel violated the terms of the treaty, and we we don't know when it's going to be reopened. I think Israel struck the Houthis in Lebanon, and they killed a bunch of people over there. And the Iranians are saying that that act by Israel violated the terms and conditions of the deal, and the strait is closed. However, the United States is firing back and said, Iran, you can't close the strait because it's an international waterway and it doesn't belong to you guys. And a matter of fact, the United States is saying we control the strait because we had a blockade there before, and if anything, we can put back another blockade and so on and so forth. Also, the Iranians um, issue a warning to vessels not to approach the strait at all, which makes no sense to me. Um, so this is a very delicate situation, as we said before. Trump just posted on Truth Social. Let me see what Trump said. 1 second. This is live, so we're gonna, see what Trump is saying on Truth right now. He just posted. Uh, okay, President Donald Trump said there will be no tolls in the Hormuz Strait for 60 days during the ceasefire period, and there will be no tolls after the 60-day period has expired, unless they are imposed by and for United States of America. should the deal not be completed for services rendered as the guardian angel to the country of the Middle East for purposes of both past, present, and future. Reimbursement costs. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So Trump is firing back. There should be no tolls, and any tolls that are going to be imposed should be imposed by the United States of America. So this is very touchy, guys. This is very touchy, and you don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but the markets. I don't know how the market's going to respond to this overall, but this is very touchy. So, and this is the on again, off again seesaw, whiplash situation I've been talking about for ever since. Because this minute the deal is on, next minute is off. I do understand that. I do understand that because of the Houthis in Lebanon situation, and Israel attacked or responded back to a firefight, and the Iranians didn't like that, but the thing is, Israel is not a part of this deal, so I don't understand what's going on here. Israel is not a part of this deal. J.D. Vance actually said that the talks are still on, and they're looking to arrange and propose a next meeting date. So at this point, guys, I am where I was 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago as it relates to what the hell is going on with this deal. Honestly, I am there. I am not too quite clear, because this is what's happening. The Iranians are saying one thing and the United States are saying one thing. A few days ago, both countries were on the same page as regards to what was coming out of both countries as it regards to the deal. Now it's kind of going sideways, and this is some uncertainty, and the markets don't like uncertainty, and certainly we don't like uncertainty. Gas prices were on their way down, were collapsing pretty much. And if this really what it is, and the Iranian National Guard is saying that we close the strait today until further notice, until they can have some guarantee that Lebanon is not going to be attacked, then as I said, we're back where we belong. We are back where we started. The on again, off again thing. What do you guys think? This is very hard to iron out between the United States and Iran because of the other parties that are involved, which are Israel and the Houthis in Lebanon, which sucks because we are making this deal for the United States, and I don't want to say Israel is deliberately throwing a wedge between this deal, because Israel do have the right to defend themselves when it comes to their sovereignty being infringed upon, and the Houthis fired missiles in both areas. But Trump come forward and urge both the Houthis in Lebanon and Israel to have a ceasefire so this deal can go through, so the strait can remain open. So is this going to be enforced? We don't know if this is going to be enforced. Hopefully it will be enforced in a way. And I don't know what's going on, guys. I really don't understand what's going on as it relates to this deal. But something needs to happen, because, as I said, if this caused the strait to close again, or it caused limited amount of traffic going through the strait, we're going to go right back to square one, which is not cool. And square one is not where we want to be, because a whole lot is depending on this deal to really push through, and the energy start flowing again, and people start traveling. There are reports that traveling is down. People not traveling as they used to travel. All means of transportation, air, bus, train, whatever, because of the energy prices. Um, Jet fuel costs is sky high right now, and the airlines are crying. Everyone is crying. The energy-driven inflation is going up. You know, there were some hopes that it will all go away. It will stop, or you know, in the past few days when this whole thing was announced, but you know, it wasn't material. It didn't materialize on the yesterday, which was the 19th. Yesterday was supposed to be the signing of the deal in Geneva, Switzerland, but it didn't materialize. So it's just sad to see that this is not going how it was, you know, pitched, and Israel and the Houthis are not playing ball, because I don't know. We don't want this perpetual thing going on, and you know, we shall see by tomorrow, though. We shall see by tomorrow what's going on with this whole thing. So we're gonna pivot for a little bit. So this is what's going on in Nomads land. We're gonna say Nomads land. While Bali, Indonesia, and other Indonesian territories, Thailand, and parts of Southeast Asia, and also parts of South America, are clamping down on digital nomads and restricting visa access and restricting digital nomads access. One country is saying, come on, nomads, we want you over here. Come on, nomads, we want you over here. We'll take as many nomads as we can, and that's Kenya. So Kenya is saying they want as many nomads as they can, because they're trying to use the idea of having digital nomads in the economy over there, you know, spending, you know, doing their remote work, making content, so on and so forth, to really boost their economy and tourism. So Kenya's tourism is pretty much dominated by their natural geographic features, you know, and the animals, and you know, the whole geographical anatomy there in Kenya, the landscape, animals, whatever. That's what their tourism industry pretty much based off. So they're trying to diversify and have, you know, they also have a very good tech sector over there too. But they're trying to diversify from the natural aspect of the land, from making money from the natural aspect of the land, and diversify into technology and invite digital nomads and expat, and you know, to really play a crucial and vital part in this transition into a more of a technology hub, so to speak, and to boost tourism through that venue. So that's what they're doing. They invited a lot of nomads there. So you people who were in Bali and Thailand, who are getting kicked out, and who are having their visas restricted, Kenya might be a very viable option for you guys to really go there and see what it is. I'm pretty sure. I watched this dude. His name is, I think it's Ashton Holman, and he's very popular in Kenya. He's from the States. I think he's from Texas, but he lived in and out of Kenya on and off for years now. And you know, I watch his channel. He has a whole lot to say about Kenya. It's good there, and you know, cost of living, and you know, if you want to get a deeper insight of what it is to be in Kenya, you could definitely check that dude out, Ashton Holman. his channel. I think he travels, and I think he's in Kenya right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's in Kenya right now, and but he is an expert on Kenya. If you have any questions or anything to ask about Kenya, and about the um, cost of living, the technology that's there, and how to get around. I think he's one of those experts you can ask, because he's always there in Kenya, and he's a good dude too. I really watch his other content, and he keep it real about Kenya or wherever he's at. So that's a good thing for Kenya. I like to see that. At least they're not going the route of South Africa, which South Africa is really kicking out black people, which is sad, because I think Africa is for Africans, honestly. And the South Africans, the black population of South Africa, is really upset with other black people coming into South Africa from other places in and around and out of Africa. They don't like it. And I really don't understand what's going on there. So I can't really give my 2 cents. Every issue has two stories, and two things can be true at the same time. So I really cannot give my opinion and my ex and really judge either one way or another as it relates to this situation. But I do believe that Africa is for Africans, and Africans should really live together, and really live together in harmony and peace, and lift each other up. And that's as far as I'm going to go on this topic. So, yes, Kenya is handling the situation well. Kenya is inviting nomads from all over to come into Kenya and do their thing, and help build a tech hub in Kenya. So that's how they are attracting talent at this point in time. But the thing is, Kenya, what I was about to say, yeah, Kenya seems to be a very nice place, and it's definitely a option, and it's definitely an alternative to Bali and Southeast Asia and all of that. I see, as I said, I watched this dude channel Ashton, and he has a very good insight into Kenya, and you could check his channel out, and I think that would be a very viable way for you guys to leave the States if you want to, and get over there in Kenya and get something done from a digital nomad perspective. That's a great place to live. I think the cost of living there is extremely affordable, and yeah, check it out, guys. Check it out. I think it's a good idea to do so if you're into what you're into. So yeah, that's what the story I have today, guys. I should have started this show earlier, but was having some technical difficulties with my mobile studio here. As you know, I'm always in the mobile studio doing my thing, letting you guys know what's going on. But yeah, that's what's going on today. So the Middle East is shifting as it relates to this deal. So we're not nothing solid is written on the wall as yet as it relates to this deal. And the place Nomads find affordable is also shifting, because the most desirable places like Southeast Asia, as we know, some parts of South America, is changing the landscape as it relates to who can actually go there, and how they're going to set up shop as a digital nomad, and do their thing. And at the same time, the World Cup here is, you know from my point of view, I think the World Cup in the United States is gelling the country together. You know what I mean? Gelling the country. Somebody said drive. Who is this? Somebody said drive safe. I don't know who is this, but respect. I'm in the mobile studio, man. Always driving safe. Trust me. I'm always doing that in the mobile studio. But thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Uh, but yeah, that's it, guys. You know, I think the World Cup is gelling the country together. I think people will be more vocal about the cost of living and the gas prices and all the other cost pressures we're facing if the World Cup wasn't going on. I think the World Cup really takes people attention of some of the strains and some of the physical and some of the economical strains we're having here in the country today. And you know, people who are soccer fans are really just ecstatic to have the World Cup here, and you know, they're having their watch parties and they're having everything, and they just feel good to have it, and you know, just distract them from the real economical pressures here. So that's what I have for you guys, and thank you guys for watching and stuff. So please remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell, and let me know what you guys think, what's going on. You know what I mean? Bless up. Have a